Federal Capital Territory with two riders. It says it has identified solution to food shortage, may reveal final resolution on minimum wage on Thursday. Others can be found on page 2 of the Daily Independent this morning. United Arab Emirates lifts ban on Nigerian passport holders. It on page 7 of the Daily Independent. Still on that same page of 7, federal government moves to boost power sector investment, rolls out strategies. Still on page 7, talking about 8 men killing. 8 men attacked 13 persons and killed, 1 injured in 2 Benue communities. Dangote says Koi's projected $30 billion revenue will boost Naira value. It's on page 8 of the Daily Independent newspaper, this Tuesday edition. Away from that, court orders Bayero orders to stop parading themselves as emirs. It's on page 25 of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Away from that, let me move away from that page to page 6. Worsened food crisis pushes inflation to 34.9%. It's on page 6. Nigeria loses $9 billion yearly to illegal mining activities disclosed by some reps. It's on page 6. Talking about Rivers crisis, still on page 6. Pro-wiki lawmakers claim shutdown of expenditure. And away from that, Lagos CIG Motor signs deal to roll out 5,000 new smart taxis. This can be found on page 5. And the last story I'll be taking on the front page of the Daily Independent this morning says, talking about politics, stopped planned nationwide protest against Tinubu. APC warns. Details will come your way shortly. The Guardian is the next newspaper we'll be taking this morning. On the front page of the Guardian this morning, it says, Nigerians at risk of food crisis as inflation hits new record. It's on page 6. Away from that, Senate enacts new law to liquidate 30 trillion naira ways and means. It's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. All right. Lawan disowns anti-Tinubu comments amid moves to sanction in Dume. It's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Again, Kyari gives early August promise on Port Harcourt refinery. It's on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Details will come your way. Another update says pro-wiki lawmakers block Fubaras across to funds. It's on page 25. Tinubu may transmit minimum wage bill to NAS next week. It's on page 7. Again, court bars Bayero, 4 others as monarchs. It's on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. IG political parties withdraw from local government pool in Osun. It's on page 25 of the Guardian newspaper. Much ado about Samuel agreement, LQBT rights. It's on page 4. Away from that, federal government distributes 740 trucks of rice to address hunger in Nigeria. It's on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. Talking about defense chief links, it says defense chief links illegal miners to influential people. Details of that story on page 7. Senate enacts new law to liquidate 30 trillion naira ways and means. All this can be found on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. That's Tuesday morning. The last newspaper we shall be looking onto is the Punch, shall we? Yes, we shall. On page 3 of the Punch newspaper, boldly written, OPX blames insecurity as food inflation eats 40.8%. It has 2 riders. It says NBS links inflation to rising prices of millets, gari, yam, fish, granules, and others. The last rider says Nasima LCCI orders laments insecurity, seek rural infrastructure investments. All this can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Excitement as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians. It's on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. On that same page of 12, Wale Soyinka says, "Never knew I would live to be 90. Details will come your way." And on business and economy update, $1.8 billion fuel stolen from refineries in 9 years. NETII disclosed this. On the foreign scene, Trump imagines Republican candidates, picks 39-year-old as running mate. It's on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Cholera cases rise to 2,809 in 33 states and 148 local governments. This can be found on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Umeoji projects over one of the Punch. This beautiful Tuesday edition says, courts okays Kano Emirate law repeal, sacks Bayero and others. It's on page 14. Do not forget we're live on Facebook at Erie 96.1 FM at gmail.com for updates and observations. And on to the last daily is the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The front page of the Vanguard says, controversy as manufacturers rejects NBS inflation figure. It's on page 20. It has many riders. I'm going to pick few riders on that, which says inflation is 34.9% in June according to NBS. From that, band A woes, universities groan over high tariffs, students lament blackout. It's on page 8. IGP bows to prayer orders, suspect rise. It's on page 9. And the next paper we're taking is The Nation. Shall we? Yes, we shall. The front page says Nigerians will export petroleum products by December, says NNPCL, with the rider 4.9%. It can be found on page 7 of The Nation newspaper. Another one says Kano court stops to Nigeria. Federal government shares 740 truckloads of rice. Minor fuel insecurity by. And that's all we have on the front. Daily Trust is the next paper I'll be looking now. The front page of the Daily Trust says, bandits kill 4, abduct 150 in Zamfara with 2 riders, 2 babies among abductees. Some women escaped with broken limbs. It's on page 7. National Assembly mulls Constitution review for INEC to conduct local government polls. Federal government donates 20 trucks of rice to each state and Federal Capital Territory. On the foreign scene, Trump emerges presidential candidate, picks 1.0 vans as his running mates. Port Harcourt refinery takes delivery of 10 barrels of crude. Court restrained Bayero, 4 others from parading themselves as emirs. Archie, don't stage protests, checks your youths. Travel agent excited as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians. It's on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Quick one, Nigerian tightens border security after Niger Republic jailbreak. It's on page 7. Lagos signs parts to boost lag ride with 5,000 vehicles. It's on page 23. Federal government shared 740 truckloads of rice to states. And that's all the details making the round this morning on All Nations, but from the national dailies. And right now we need to go on a quick breather. When we come back from that breather, we give you details of the headlines making the round this morning. Do not forget it's Erie 96.1 FM Morning Rush newspaper review program. You do all to like, share, and comment on our Facebook. We bless you. We thank you in anticipation. Thank you so very much for your rapt attention. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. Don't touch the dial.
Feeling stuck? Need a boost of inspiration? Look no further. The dew of motivation is here. You are listening to Erie 96.1, your favorite radio station for non-stop classics. We are the king. Let's go. This is your radio, your station. You're locked into 96.1 Erie FM. Your station. Erie 96.1 non-stop classics. We are the king.
This is your man Flo Rida.
Hey, what's happening? It's your homie Plies, man.
Hey, yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Bow Weezy, man. Check it out.
This is Ed Sheeran.
Hi, I'm Charlie Puth.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney.
Systems are offline.
Tune in to Erie 96.1 FM, the majestic station that rules the sound waves. Join us.
Erie 96.1 FM. We are the king. Welcome back to Erie 96.1 FM, the Morning Rush newspaper review program. Glad you're still very much with us on the show. It's the newspaper review program, and at time we give you details of the headlines I read to you earlier. And now we're starting with a story from the Punch newspaper talking about Supreme Court got it wrong and local government autonomy. The headline says Supreme Court got it wrong and local government autonomy. Federalism is the imaginary bedrock of Nigeria's constitutional democracy, designed to balance power between the central and the subnationals. However, the recent judgments by the Supreme Court concerning local government autonomy has raised critical questions about the integrity of this federalist structure. The judiciary should interpret the Constitution to reinforce decentralization. In its latest judicial intervention on the suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemisan, challenging the state governor's control of local governments, the court declared that the government is portioned into three tiers: federal, state, and local. This is a blatant assault on the tenets of federalism. The judgment barred the governors from receiving, retaining, or spending the local government allocations. The court held that states receiving local government funds violate Section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. It asserted that the Constitution states that any money leaving the Federation account must be distributed to the three tiers of governments. This is erroneous in federalism. There are only two units of government, the central and the federating units. The Supreme Court held it in its judgment as that local governments have no place in a federal constitution. Therefore, one of the fundamental flaws of the 1999 Constitution is to list the 774 local governments in it. This must be corrected. In federal jurisdictions such as the United States, India, and Brazil, the Constitution recognizes only the central and province region state governments. State funds the local government as the counties are under them. Thus, the Supreme Court's judgment is a conspiracy against federalism. The headline says Supreme Court got it wrong on local government autonomy. For full details, you can pick the Punch newspaper. Minimum wage, Tinubu Labour meets Thursday. Local government demands more allocation. The story read, President Bola Tinubu will again meet with Labour leaders on Thursday to reach a consensus on a new minimum wage, just as the Association of Local Government of Nigeria demanded a new revenue formula in favor of the 774 local government areas in the country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, told journalists after the 15th Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House, Abuja, on Monday, that Tinubu would hold a follow-up meeting with the Labour leaders in continuation of his consultation with the stakeholders. An amendment bill to the budget would thereafter be transmitted to the National Assembly after a consensus had been reached on a new minimum wage. Last Thursday, the President and Labour leaders held a meeting, but no conclusive figure on a new minimum wage was reached, and the section was adjourned until Thursday. The tripartite committee on the new minimum wage had submitted two separate figures to the President following a disagreement among the stakeholders. While the government team and the organized private sector proposed 62,000 naira, organized labor demanded 250,000 naira. On receiving the committee's reports, the President asked for more time to have a dialogue with the relevant stakeholders to harmonize the figures before transmitting an executive bill to the National Assembly. The headline says, Minimum wage, Tinubu Labour meets Thursday, local governments demand more allocation. In case you're interested in that story, you can pick the Punch newspaper this Tuesday morning. Excitement as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians. The federal government has signed an agreement with the government of the United Arab Emirates to resume visa issuance to Nigerians who wish to travel to the Middle Eastern country. The development sparked excitement among Nigerians on Monday. I can tell you that the agreement has been reached and effective from today. Nigerian passport holders intending to travel to the UAE are able to do so. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, told State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, on Monday. Idris explained, "You are aware the Nigerian has been discussing with the United Arab Emirates on the issue of visas for Nigerian passport holders going to the United Arab Emirates. Today an agreement has been reached on that, and effective from today 15th July, Nigerian passport holders are able to obtain visas to go to the United Arab Emirates. Details of that will be provided to you later today when we put out a statement." And reacting to the development on social media, Rain Awonwen wrote, "That is a great development. I have no doubt that PBAT will definitely take us to where we are expecting to be, or precisely close to the place." Also, Omo Adekunle wrote, "This is good news." Anglos Okori said, "Thanks, Tinubu. I know that you can lead, just that the people will use your name to dupe Niger plenty." And the headline says, "Excitement as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians." I think that's going to put a smile on the face of Nigerians this morning. Do not forget, we're still live on Erie 96.1 FM on Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Military says elite frustrating efforts to stop foreign illegal miners. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, said on Monday that elites in the country are frustrating the efforts of security agencies to arrest illegal miners. This was at the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals, Jonathan Befwe, said the country was losing $9 billion annually to illegal mining. They spoke at the investigative hearing organized by the committee in Abuja. The CDS, who was represented by Air Vice Marshal Nemeka Ilo, said the involvement of the elites in it we can't tell, but we know that most of the time when we catch those foreigners, they will tell us that they are connected. I don't want to say something, but sometimes you hand these people over and the next thing they are released. Talking of illegal mining, I'm going to talk about how the military sees it. There are so many other stakeholders that I want to talk about. From our various operations and statistics that we have, we notice that, first of all, the framework guiding mining in Nigeria is very, very good. It needs to be strengthened. Why do I say? In 2018 or so, during the last administration, there was a ban on illegal mining in South Africa. South Africa and Nigeria, which are even established a gold mine zone. Despite the ban, mining licenses were being issued to people to mine in that zone. So the strengthening of the institutional framework is very key. He called for tough sanctions for those involved in the arts, saying anybody caught in this illegal mining must be dealt with decisively, and examples should be made public for others to know. The headline says, elite frustrating efforts stop foreign illegal miners, military warns. Still reading from the Punch newspaper this morning. On business and economy, $1.8 billion fuel stolen from refineries in 9 years. 90 disclosed this. The executive secretary of the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiatives, Dr. Ogbonnaya Oji, has disclosed that the country lost $1.84 billion worth of petroleum products from refineries in 9 years. Hodges stated this on Monday at the opening ceremony of the 2024 Night Board Retreat meeting in Lagos. And according to him, 4.2 billion liters of petroleum products were lost from the refineries as a result of oil theft between 2009 and 2018. This was estimated at 140,000 barrels per day. Baffled by the increasing rate of oil thefts, the night boss said figures contained in our 2009 to 2020 audit have put Nigerians' losses to crude oil theft over a 12-year period at 619.7 million barrels valued at $46.16 billion or 16.25 trillion naira. Similarly, between 2009 and 2018, the country also lost 4.2 billion liters of petroleum products from refineries valued at $1.84 billion. He emphasized the 5-day retreat was an opportunity to discuss ideas on ways to deal with the current challenges of oil theft, illegal mining, pipeline and other governance challenges that have contributed to the loss of revenues and investment opportunities. And on energy transition, the executive secretary expressed worries that the nation's economy is being threatened by the global shift from fossil fuels to renewable energy as the demand for oil declines. The headline says, $1.8 billion fuel stolen from refineries in 9 years, Nati disclosed. Welcome back to Erie 96.1 FM. It's the Morning Rush newspaper review program. Before I bring my analyst on board, I'm still reading from the Punch newspaper. Let me take the story talking about the Metro News. Lagos transport workers protest extortion, harassment by soldiers. Transport workers in some parts of Lagos states have raised the alarm over alleged continuous harassment and extortion by officials of Operation Mesa. OPMESA is a joint internal security operational platform made up of the Nigerian Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, facilitated by the Lagos State government. They operate in synergy with the police and crime fighting across the state. The transport workers, who comprise tricycle and motorcycle riders in Shasha, Idimu, Ejibo, and Ikoto areas, said the officials move around the parks in branded pickup vans to carry out the acts. And according to them, the military men who were always armed often threatened to shoot their members if they delayed in providing the money. Some of the leaders who spoke said efforts to escalate the development to authorities had yielded no results. A leader in one of the parks who identified himself as Al-Aji Tafa said, "This is not the first time we are raising the alarm over the activities of these OPMESA officials across our parks, but the state authorities don't seem to care. They come and forcefully collect money from us at least twice a day. They also come with their vans and rifles demanding money from us. When we complain about them, they stop bringing their vans. They park them somewhere and come on motorcycles to conceal their identities." The middle-aged man said after a while, they started to bring their vans again and they became more violent. Another executive member who asked not to be named for security purposes said the actions are compounding the harsh economic conditions of the transport workers. Headline says Lagos transport workers protest extortion harassment by soldiers. And on this note, I would love to welcome my analyst on board, who happens to be Dr. Abimbola Amo. Is right in the studio of Erie 96.1 FM to do justice to what he knows how to do best. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nigerians. I'm happy to be here with everybody.
It's our
Hope
pleasure.
the rain is not too much with everybody.
It's our pleasure to have you here on board again.
It's always my pleasure
And
to.
how's the weather over there?
It's not too bad. We're enjoying it.
All right, let's quickly move straight to the story talking about the Lagos transport workers protest extortion harassment by the military men in this present era, in this present dispensation. Should we be threatened by those who believe should be protecting our lives and property?
The fact is very clear. We should understand the theory of things. Lagos State has been a home of where people, even the military, the armed forces, the civil servant believes they can hand the best. It's a place that they feel that the people generate money and they have to generate their own. But the actual thing is that we should look at it from one perspective. What they are generating, is it for national development? Is it for the people that are giving it to them? Is it part of their location to be generated in that city? What is their aim? Let us streamline our activities in this nation. Let's start to look inward and see what is real. If the transport agency, transport organizations has to be giving something to the military or the Operation Oga, not individually. Let us say, okay, 1% of their allocations should go to them for their upkeep. That's something viable. Not that they will come there every day. They will get money for
In a forced manner.
in a very forceful manner. It's uncalled for. These people, they are the people that are to serve this nation and make it right. They shouldn't be people that will bring hardship to us. They shouldn't be people that will bring unlawful situation into reality. No, there should be people who will guide against abnormalities. Because in a situation where somebody has not eaten from money or has gotten by his ride or his vehicle or his bike through payment, instrumental payment, and he has just gotten what he cannot afford to pay, and these people are there be These people that they said they are giving money to, they have their salaries standard, at least for 35 years. Standard salary.
Now you see them extorting.
And they still go all the way to people that are using their power, their brain, their everything. And most of the people that they are starting from, they don't really know why they should improve their own personal life.
Now, in a nutshell, what do you think the Lagos State government should do to avert this?
Lagos State government knows what to do. We should be very sincere with ourselves.
Okay.
Let all the parks, all the areas have the list per week of people that have been. Let it be online. Let it be online. These are the people that is meant for this judiciary for within this time. We have CCTV camera. Lagos State can afford CCTV camera in everywhere. So let somebody regulate the CCTV system. Let somebody regulate what is happening on the streets. Let the system be automatically regulated. So we are ready to regulate our system. That is when it is work.
All right.
As at now, Lagos State on its own can finance 6 states in this federation. Then why is Lagos State telling us that they are still having domestic internal problems? Why are they having security problems? Why are they having challenges with the mega and the police and the others? No.
All right, let's go to something that joins Nigerians in connection together. Now, talking about the federal government shares 740 truckloads of rice to states. This has been making the rounds on all the nation this morning, and I'll be taking it from the Nation newspaper. It says, FEC directs quick action on CNG vehicles. Talking about food crisis dominated discussion at yesterday's meeting at the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting in Abuja. It was the second meeting of the highest decision making of the executive in 5 days to take decisions on crucial issues affecting the people. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris announced after the meeting the supply of 740 trucks of rice to the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. This is made up of 20 trucks per state containing 1,225 kg rice bags. Wow, this should bring a smiling face to Nigerians. Federal government has announced the distribution of 740 trucks load of rice to tackle food crisis in the nation. Your reaction to that, Doctor?
Let us be sincere with ourselves. That is not a way to end problem of food crisis. It's never a way. 740 trucks of food, of rice, distributed to 774 local government.
Yes.
You are talking about a truck to a local government. You are talking about a truck to a local government. On what percentage? A local government that is having 3 million people, and you are giving them a truck. Who are you giving it to? It is indirectly empowering the people that have been empowered. It's an indirect way of making some people richer and making some people poorer. It's an indirect way of compensating the political power associates. It is sure. It is real. You can see it. 770 something loads of trailer.
740 truckloads of rice to the state.
Is not what we need. This isn't what we need. These are realities of what is on ground. It's not that, it's far from what we need.
So at this point in time whereby we have food crisis, food insecurity, food challenges,
774, let us know what percentage, what is the actual numbers of food we eat on a daily basis. How do we eat it? How do we generate what we are eating? The fact that we are dodging from I've always been saying this. We are trying to dodge from realities for some people to get richer and for some people to get poorer. Until when we are ready to face the reality, let us know your state will be able to consume 20 loads of trucks per day. Nasarawa state will be able to consume 3 loads of trucks per day. And Jigawa state will be able to consume 2 loads of trucks per day.
Now let's take our own states as a case study, or your states now.
Now giving 20 trailers in 33 local government. Who are you giving?
13 left.
Who are you? That means 20 trailers in just 20 local governments. So that means there are still 13 states and 13 local governments not giving at all if you are going to distribute on local government basis. And if you are not going to distribute it on number basis, 1,200 per
bags
per truck.
Yes.
So that means we are giving 120 bags to 120 people. Who are you selecting to give that 120?
And 1,000 25 kg rice.
25 kg rice.
Yes.
That cannot accommodate a home for 5 days. So we should be realistic. We are yet to be realistic. That's our problem in this nation.
But the federal government says this will alleviate food shortage.
It can never. It doesn't. It will just bring money to the purse of some people, and will make some people more crying, and it may cause death. How? Because of the fact that the way it will be distributed, it will be distributed in such a manner that it can't reach the people that it's meant for. The political associates will want to take their own portion. And you know when it has to do with politics, this one will say, I am the head of the party, I am authentically, I
just want to use their own veto
power to get about 50 bags. This one give him 30 bags, this one give him 50 bags. Eventually, some people will react. And when the reaction comes, you will see what violence is all about. Those are the minor things that cause insecurity in Nigeria. Those are the minor things that make some people feel oppressed.
Doctor.
Those are the few major things that has been causing and ravaging poverty in this nation.
Doctor, the federal government says this is just the first step, and the federal government will continue to support all the subnational so that the hardship can be eradicated. This is just the first step. We don't know where the government...
Personally, to my personal point of view, I'm an agriculturist.
Okay, yes. Now, considering it from your own profession...
I don't believe in giving food to people as a way of alleviating their poverty. No. I don't believe in it. It's not done anywhere in the whole world. That's where you'll be giving some people food and some people will be starving. Our national data has not come out with a tangible data to tell us who are starving, who are hungry, who are civil servants, who are major business owners. They should come up with those tangible templates. After coming up with those tangible templates, that is where we start. So we know who to give food to. Okay. The most less privileged, the most. And how are we? If we should give them food today, tomorrow, and next tomorrow, there should be a way for them to contribute to national development.
Doctor, I would love you to soften the pedal right now. Let me just direct this quick one. Do you think in the distribution of this food, there will be what we call rice stampede? People are clamoring that when they start distributing, people will die. There will be stampede. They don't know what happened the other time should repeat itself. How do you think the government would cope stampede in distribution of this food?
The fact is clear. The Nigerian government, they don't put the right pegs
in the right hole.
We all know what is happening. Eventually, there are times we have witnessed that some local governments are giving incentive and it was distributed among the political associates and it doesn't get to the right people. Those are where we start analyzing the issue. Now, giving them rice. It's good to give them rice. Who are they giving it to?
Yes. Who are they directing the rice to? Who are they giving the rice to?
How do they come about people that are giving the rice to? Ibadan North local government, where we are now, Ibadan North local government, you give them 20 loads of rice. 20, let me say 5 trailers of rice today. The numbers of destitutes, the numbers of people that will come around for the rice, we accommodate the rice in just a day.
In just a day. Poverty.
Are we elevating poverty?
Poverty.
But go to a local government like Igbo, Igeti Kishi, where they know what they farm.
According to your own scale of preference. Okay.
Where they know what they farm and they know what they eat. If you take it to them, they may say we don't need it.
They might reject it.
They might reject it because they don't really need it.
Really?
They don't really need it.
So
what they need is giving them incentive for production.
Even if they want to distribute the rice, are you saying they should give it to those that really need it?
If we really want to be sincere with ourselves,
Yes, the federal government has spoken so, and they've given their decision.
it is the words of men that is the word of authority.
Okay.
It is not the word of God. It is the words of men that is the word of authority. They have spoken, well spoken. But the fact remains that giving rice 20 trailer load to every state does not elevate poverty. It does not improve our productivity. It does not bring about poverty eradication. It does not bring about employment. It is not. It is just a means.
We have a call. Good morning.
Good morning. Giving rise to it cannot solve our problem in this country. It's like they are giving something to another people without database. It's like taking water inside the basket. The best thing we could have gone to is farming food for all those farmers. So just to complement the efforts of those governors like Niger State, Lagos State, and Oyo State, really are giving fine to the farmers. That's the best way they can do. Because the generality of Nigerians, they are in hunger and even feeling sad. That's why the inflation that is biting us every day. So federal government to do it equal on time. So because of things that are that's right.
Your name, sir, where you calling us from?
Sulaiman Sherry calling from Nara.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Sulaiman, from that valuable discussion contribution. All right, doctor. Shoot, I'm listening.
You can see.
And in case you want to be part of the conversation, is this the best thing the federal government should do? The distribution of rice? 09056969961. Let's hear your thoughts. Let's hear your view. Let's hear your own idea. Let's hear your own saying to it, your reaction. 09056969961. And please, while giving your reaction, let's not give an hate speech to the government. Let's avoid topsy-turvy. Let's avoid shenanigans. Let's avoid word that can incite violence. Doctor, I'm with you.
You can see what the reaction of the last speaker. He made it clear that the best thing you can give. I have learned about a university yesterday that said their Institute of Department of Agriculture is going on for free now. University, private university. They said they want to, as their own way to alleviate poverty in Nigeria.
Okay.
They are giving agricultural department free to students, the student for this 2004 to alleviate poverty. Those are the ways we need. Let every local government in Nigeria produces 1,000 people to produce in 100 days, and let us see the reaction. Let every local government, that is 777,000 people, to produce in just 3 months.
740 trucks to the nation. How is it effective?
Effectiveness of those 700 is just giving taking somebody to the riverbank and giving him food to eat for just a day.
Just a day.
It cannot sustain us for up to a week. The reality of it is that the national economic policy has never come up with what is the exact food we need. Then in the Department of Agriculture has never come up with the exact production capacity we have. The national policy makers are not coming up with the tangible way to eradicate this poverty. All we know is how to spend the money at hand, because it's a way of spending money. It's the best way of spending money when you are giving food to the so-called less privileged. On what ground are you selecting the less privileged?
On what account?
On what account? Who are the people that you count to be less privileged? Is it people that cannot afford to eat a day, or somebody that is a beggar on the street that can earn more than 3,000-4,000 naira a day?
Or someone that can't even afford a 3 square meal a day.
Or somebody that can never afford 3 square meal. Who are you giving this rice to? Who exactly are you giving it to? What are the data of giving it to them? Is it based on their who has served the party? Is it based on who has voted you in? Is it based on who does not have the capacity of raising himself? Is it people at the hospital?
And now let's talk about the distribution of that rice. How do they get it?
It might not have been spelled clear.
Even if they want to, give it to them location, if they want to give them by local government, are you sure that this won't cause stampede? I'm practically about that stampede.
The fact is clear.
This is Nigeria, the way we do things.
There are institutes, there are parastatals who ought to have been empowered to deal with those situations.
In terms of distribution.
In terms of distribution. But those institutes, those parastatals will never be empowered to do that.
Why?
Because of the political situation we find ourselves in this nation.
Which is
giving the best to the people that are in control. It is all about.
Are you saying in this distribution of rice we'll still have some people regarded as boss?
There will be.
Hey.
Yeah, people are in the helm of affair. People that owns the rice.
The rice that doesn't belong to them.
They owns it directly or indirectly because they're the one who's bringing it.
The rice, our rice.
It is not our rice.
The rice for the masses.
It is not for the masses.
Some people will turn boss.
It is not for the masses.
Okay.
Understand? It is for federal government, and it's distributing to the people they feel should be given to. And some people will be there to distribute it. They want to have their own share.
09056969961. I would entertain more conversation on this. Hello. Good morning. Miriam from Odejai. Good morning, Miriam.
Thank you.
How was your night?
It's fine, and you?
Well, thank God. Your reaction, quick one.
Sharing on the right, organizing Nigerians, I believe it will never solve the problem of hunger. And as well, I want to encourage the federal government to tackle the problem of food scarcity and hiking price from the grassroots. That is, we need our farmers back to farm. And for these farmers to be so productive, we need maximum security for them. So I will only urge the federal government to tackle the issue of insecurity across the 36 states. And also, our government here should hasten with the recruitment of Amotekun Rangers that will be stationed at the entrance of the farm. Because without having our farmers on the farm, back to the farm, this is how we keep complaining about hiking price of food. That's my take. Good morning.
Miriam, before you go, please, can I ask you a question? Hello? All right, no problem. Miriam has said something very interesting, very great. The thing is, there's insecurity in the country, in the states. People won't be able to go to the farm because of insecurity. What do you think the government can do to eradicate this insecurity so that the food supply would reach the desired people?
I must be sincere with you. Nigeria insecurity problem is a domestic problem. It's our internal problem. It is caused by the elders and the people in every locality. It is because of our interactions. There are so many factors that have to be linked in. Has to be given orientation on instrumental basis. They have to be know what their limit is, why they should do this, and why they shouldn't do this. I always say this. Our problem is not God's problem.
Let's pick this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling from? Your name?
I'm Ademola from Ibadan.
Oh, morning, Mr. Ademola. Quick one, sir.
Well, in case of this extortion to the police.
Okay, sir.
You see, the police are trained, and the authority, headquarters, and others have warned the police against extortions. So at times I personally monitor, and people give voluntarily to the police and other things. So alarming is continuous. So the police is focused on training, information, and other things. So at times the police are not extorting anybody, and people give voluntarily, and they are focused, and the police are good disciplinarians. So they have warned them in extortion and other things, and they are doing a good job. And concerning the distribution of food and other things and rice, you see, people need to be honest. So some governors, their government can take this country forward. When you reduce the food prices, you know, this country is fortunate. Whether it's so conducive and the rainfall is favorable. That's the advantage. So government needs to put more energy, more input into agriculture. We need fertilizer, we need equipment and others. And the government should do the needful to add the delivery. The government needs to do the needful because people need to have the distribution. So I mean, the people need to be honest and other things.
Thank you, sir.
And concerning what Walishinka does, Walishinka has contributed to the development of literature and economy. He has done well, so we congratulate him.
All right.
And there's more to do for people. So
Thank you
congratulations
so
to
very much,
our people and other things.
Thank you so very much for your usual contribution. At this point in time, we need to drag the curtain to call it a day. But before we call it a day, Doctor, you've said something nice. You've spoken well, and we sincerely appreciate your valuable insight always. Thank you so much for your, God's given potential, to, bring people to the limelight, restore hope and peace to the masses and also to the nation. We sincerely appreciate you, Doctor, for your usual cooperation.
It's my pleasure.
God bless you always. We are not ungrateful in Erie 96.1 FM.
It's greater for my pleasure.
Your BYD before I take my leave.
I always say this. Whatever you are doing, think twice. How does it affect me? How does it affect others? What will the next generation say about what I'm doing? How will I be rewarded? What reward am I looking for after the homework? I still remain myself, Dr. Abimbola Amao.
I will always say you can't be bold and not shine like a gold. Nobody will be excluded from the budget of greatness when you fidget. At this point in time, Olatunbosun Alao wants